Hello and welcome to Session 8, Optimize Model Performance in Power BI. I'm Andrew Conniff, a Microsoft technical trainer specializing in data and AI. Today, we will explore optimizing performance in Power BI, and let's dive right in. In this session, we are going to discuss using variables to improve performance and troubleshooting, and reviewing the performance of measures, relationships, and visuals. Using variables in DAX formulas makes the syntax less complex and the calculations more efficient. So some expressions involve the use of many nested functions and the reuse of an expression or logic. This expression can take longer to process and they're difficult to read and therefore troubleshoot. By including variables, we provide the following advantages. We have improved performance, improved readability, we have simplified troubleshooting in the code, and we also can reduce the complexity. When we have completed creating our report, the performance of that report depends on how quickly the data can load onto the report page. We should test out the report on the Power BI service and see how well it works from an end user perspective. If we experience any issues ourselves, or if the report users have reported issues, we need to investigate the cause of these issues and tune the report for more optimized performance. To investigate the cause of issues, we start with the Performance Analyzer tool within Power BI Desktop. Performance Analyzer provides logs which measure in time duration how each of the report elements performs when used to interact with them. If we look closely at the durations in the logs, we can identify which elements of the report are the most or least resource intensive. We identify where the bottlenecks are, and we can start investigating those items for the cause. Before we run Performance Analyzer, ensure we clear the visual cache and data engine cache. Otherwise, the results will not be as accurate. Also, we should set up the report so that it opens on a blank page. To get the best results, close the Power BI report and reopen it to clear the cache fully. When we've cleared the caches and open the report on the blank page, run the Performance Analyzer from the View tab and select Start Recording. Interact with the report as a user would, and then stop the recording. Observe the results of the interactions in the performance pane, and when finished, select the Stop button, and then analyze the results of the Performance Analyze pane again. Observe the performance results of each item in the report. It's listed in milliseconds under the duration column. So we review in order of duration. We want to look from the longest to the shortest by right-clicking the sort icon next to the duration milliseconds column and selecting total time in descending order. The log information for each visual shows how much time it took the duration to complete the following categories of tasks. The DAX query is the time it took the visual to send the query along with the time it took analysis services to return the result. Visual display is the time it took the visual to render on the screen, including the time required to retrieve web images or geocoding. Other is the time it took the visual to prepare queries, wait for other visuals to complete or perform other background processing tasks. And if this category displays a long duration, try optimizing DAX queries for other visuals or reduce the number of visuals on the report. The metadata is information about other data. So Power BI metadata contains information on your data model, such as the name, data type, format in each of the columns, and the schema of the database, the report design, the file that was last modified, date refreshes, and so on. We can use Power Query Editor in Power BI Desktop to examine the columns, rows, and values of the raw data. We can then use the available tools such as those highlighted in the following screenshot to make the necessary changes. We can tune the performance. The results of an analysis will identify areas of improvement and highlight the items that need optimizing. A common reason for poor performance is too many visuals on the same page. If visuals are the bottleneck leading to the poor performance, we can take the following steps to tune the report. The first is reduce the number of visuals on the report page. If a visual is not necessary and does not add value to the end user, remove it. Rather than using multiple visuals on the page, consider other ways to provide additional details, such as drill-through pages and report page tooltips. The upper limit for the visuals is 100 fields, so a visual with more than 100 fields will be slow to load and look cluttered and confusing. Identify fields that are not valuable to the visual and remove them. If fields are not causing the performance issues, take a look at the DAX query results that are displayed in the Performance Analyzer pane and investigate further into those. When we examine the results in the Performance Analyzer pane, we can see how long it took the Power BI desktop engine to evaluate each query in milliseconds. A good starting point is any DAX query that is taking longer than 120 milliseconds. In this example, you can identify one query that has a large duration time. The Performance Analyzer highlights potential issues but does not tell you what needs to be done to improve them. In this example, we are trying to count the total number of products within order quantities greater than or equal to 5. Now, the measure replaces the filter function with the keep filter function. When the test was run again in Performance Analyzer, the duration was shorter because of the keep filter function. The reason for this is the filter function waits for the initial page to filter, then filters the data again, whereas keep filters uses the page filter and only returns the data with the values greater than or equal to 5. This concludes our session. There are many ways to continue your learning journey. We encourage you to watch other videos in this course or search out your next favorite topic on Microsoft Learn at aka.ms/learn.